If you're seeing this message, then you're about to win. But here's something nobody tells you about victory. 97% of people quit just 3 steps away from their breakthrough. They have all the pieces and potential, yet they never recognize the signs. They never recognize the moment when everything is about to change. What if I told you that, at this very moment, you're closer to winning than ever before? What if your very presence here means your victory is inevitable? Stay with me for the next few minutes, because I'm going to show you the exact signs that victory is coming. I'll explain why your struggles mean you're on the right path and reveal the one mindset shift that separates winners from everyone else. By the end, you'll know exactly where you are on your journey to victory. Let me ask you something. Have you been feeling restless lately? Like something big is about to happen, but you can't quite pinpoint what it is? That's not anxiety. It's your unconscious mind recognizing something your conscious mind hasn't caught up to yet. Victory sends signals before it arrives. Most people miss these signals because they're looking for the wrong things. They're waiting for external validation, for someone to tell them they're ready. But victory whispers before it shouts. The first sign, unexpected opportunities start to appear, not the obvious ones, those come later. I'm talking about random conversations, coincidental meetings, and doors that crack open just enough for you to peek through. Your subconscious has been working, creating neural pathways, and now the universe is responding to your new frequency. The second sign is even more subtle. You start to feel slightly disconnected from your old life. Friends might say you've changed. Your old habits feel forced. You aren't losing yourself, you're outgrowing your old limitations. Victory requires a new version of you, and that person is already emerging. Here's the sign that confirms victory is imminent. You no longer need constant reassurance. You stop checking if you're on the right path every 5 minutes. A quiet certainty settles in, like the calm before a storm. It's not arrogance, it's certainty. You know something they don't. If these signs feel familiar and you're nodding right now, understand this. You're not imagining it. Your victory is closer than you think. But let's be honest about something else. The path to victory isn't perfect, as seen on Instagram. It's messy, it's confusing. Right before your breakthrough, it seems like everything is falling apart. I want you to understand why this happens, because most people give up at this point. They think that the struggle means they're doing something wrong. They think the obstacles mean they should quit. But struggle isn't the opposite of victory, it's victory in disguise. Think of every movie you've ever watched and every story that has moved you. The hero doesn't win in Act I, they face their darkest moment right before their triumph. This isn't just good storytelling, it's how transformation actually works in real life. Your brain is wired to resist change, even positive change, even the change you desperately want. So, when you're on the verge of a breakthrough, your mind will do everything it can to pull you back to safety. Fear, doubt, that voice telling you that you're not ready, not worthy, and not enough. I've seen people quit their businesses the week before landing their first major client. I've seen athletes stop training the month before they would have achieved their personal best. I've seen writers abandon their book just 3 chapters from the end. The resistance gets stronger the closer you get, because what you're trying to achieve is real. If it wasn't real or possible, your mind wouldn't bother fighting it. The intensity of your struggle is proportional to the magnitude of your impending victory. So, if you're struggling right now and everything feels harder than it should, congratulations. You're exactly where you need to be. This is where everything changes. This is where winners are separated from dreamers. It's not through some magical moment of inspiration, but rather through what I call the final touches. Do you know what distinguishes a professional musician from someone who plays guitar in their bedroom? It's not talent. It's not even practice. It's the willingness to perfect details that no one else will notice. A professional tunes their guitar before every song, even if they just tuned it 5 minutes ago. Victory lies in the seemingly insignificant details. Right now, you're in the final touches phase. Everything major is already in place. The foundation is built. The structure is solid. However, there are small, critical adjustments that will determine whether you break through or stay where you are. Maybe it's having one more difficult conversation. Maybe it's refining your approach by just 5%. Maybe it's showing up consistently for 30 more days when everyone else gives up after 29. Here's what I need you to understand. The difference between almost winning and actually winning is never as big as you think. It's not 50% more effort. It's not twice as much time. It's usually 5% more precision, 10% more consistency, and 100% more belief in what you're doing. The person who wins isn't necessarily the person who tries hardest. It's the person who perseveres with the right focus. While everyone else is making dramatic changes, the winner is making microscopic adjustments that add up to massive results. What's your final touch? What small thing have you been avoiding because it seems too simple to matter? That's your answer. Let me tell you about the conversations that happen inside the minds of winners. It's not what you think. Most people believe that winners are always positive, motivated, and confident. That's not true. Winners have the same doubts, fears, and bad days as everyone else. The difference lies in how they handle those thoughts. A winner's mindset doesn't eliminate doubt, it argues with it. When doubt says, "This won't work," a winner's mind says, "Let's find out." When fear says, "You're not ready," a winner's mind responds, "Nobody ever feels ready." When the inner critic says, "You're going to fail," a winner's mind says, "Maybe, but I'm going to fail forward." This is the secret that self-help books don't teach. Confidence isn't a prerequisite for winning. Confidence is a byproduct of winning. You don't need to feel confident to take action. You need to take action to feel confident. Every winner I've studied has one thing in common. They developed what I call comfortable uncertainty. They learned to function, perform, and excel while feeling uncertain. They stopped waiting to feel ready and started getting ready by doing. Your mind is the most sophisticated prediction machine ever created. It's constantly calculating probabilities, assessing risks, and trying to keep you safe. However, it can't calculate the power of your decision to win, no matter the odds. When you truly decide that victory is not optional, something shifts in your brain. Neural pathways reorganize. Your reticular activating system starts noticing opportunities that it was previously blind to. Your body language changes. Your voice changes. People respond to you differently. This isn't mystical thinking. It's neuroscience. Your beliefs literally rewrite your reality. Let me tell you about Sarah. 2 years ago, she had a job she hated and was living paycheck to paycheck. She was convinced that she wasn't smart enough to start her own business. She had an idea for an app, but every time she started working on it, she heard that voice. "Who do you think you are, thinking you can do this?" For months, she made excuses. She didn't have enough money, she didn't have enough time, she didn't have enough experience, but something kept pulling her back to that idea. Late at night, she found herself sketching wireframes on napkins. During her lunch breaks, she researched competitors. The idea wouldn't leave her alone. Then came the resistance. It was hard. Her laptop crashed, taking 3 weeks of work with it. Her boyfriend told her that she was being unrealistic. She applied for a small business loan and was rejected. Each obstacle felt like a sign to quit. But Sarah had started to recognize the pattern. The harder it got, the closer she got. Instead of viewing the obstacles as rejections, she viewed them as not yet. She rebuilt her work. She found a new way to fund her project. She surrounded herself with people who believed in her vision. 18 months later, her app had 50,000 users and was still growing. She's making more money than she ever did at her corporate job. But here's what she recently told me. "The victory wasn't when I made my first dollar. The victory was the moment I decided to keep going despite everything telling me to quit." Sarah's not superhuman. She's not more talented than you. She just understood something that most people miss. Victory is not an event. Victory is a decision you make every single day. I think about how Michael Jordan was cut from his high school basketball team. I think about Steven Spielberg being rejected from film school 3 times. Oprah was told she was unfit for television news. J.K. Rowling had Harry Potter rejected by 12 publishers. What if they had listened to the naysayers? What if they had taken the rejection as the final answer? The world would have missed out on their greatness. More importantly, they would have missed out on their own greatness. Your story is being written right now. The obstacles you're facing, the insurmountable challenges, and the moments when you want to quit are all part of your comeback story. It's the story you'll tell when you've won. It's the story that will inspire someone else to keep going. But what happens after you win? Nobody talks about this part, but it's crucial that you understand it now before you get there. Victory is not a destination, it's a moment of transition. On the day you achieve your goal, you'll feel incredible for about 24 hours. Then, something unexpected happens. You'll start looking for the next mountain to climb. This isn't because victory isn't enough. It's because victory changes you. The person who wins is not the same person who started the journey. You'll have new capabilities, new confidence, and a new vision. What seemed impossible at the beginning will now seem routine. Your problems will become more challenging to match your new level. This is why celebrating your victories is strategic, not optional. Your brain needs to register the win, encode the memory of success, and build the neural pathway that says, "I am someone who wins." Without celebration, victory becomes just another item on your to-do list instead of proof of your potential. When you win, and you will, I want you to do 3 things. First, acknowledge the journey. Remember where you started. Remember the moment you almost quit. Remember the people who doubted you, including yourself. This isn't about holding grudges, it's about measuring the distance you've traveled. Second, share your victory, not to boast, but to inspire others. Right now, someone is where you were at the beginning. They need to see that it's possible. They need your story to fuel their belief. Third, set your next goal while you have momentum. Victory creates energy, and energy is meant to be invested, not stored. The best time to start your next challenge is while you're still celebrating your last victory. Your victory is not just about you. It's about everyone who will be inspired by your example. It's about the problems your success will solve, the people your achievement will impact, and the legacy you'll leave behind. Now is the time. So here we are. You've been with me throughout this entire journey, and that means a lot. It shows that you're serious about winning. It means you recognize that victory is possible. But knowing is not enough. Understanding is not enough. Believing is not enough. There is only one thing that transforms potential into reality, dreams into achievements, and hope into victory: action. Right now, at this moment, you have a choice. You can close this video feeling inspired for a few minutes, then return to your old patterns and habits. Or you can decide that this is the moment when everything changes. What if I told you that every winner in history faced this exact moment? This moment of decision. This is the moment when they had to choose between the familiar comfort of their current situation and the uncertain promise of their potential. What if the only difference between you and the people you admire is that they embraced this moment, but you haven't yet? Your victory won't come someday. It's not coming when you're ready. Your victory isn't coming when the conditions are perfect. Your victory will come the moment you decide it will and take the first step toward making it inevitable. The signs are there. The opportunity is here. The stronger the resistance, the closer you are. Everything you need to win is already within you. The only question left is, will you use them? Champions aren't born in victory. They are born from the decision to pursue victory despite the odds. Today is the day you become a champion. Today is the day your comeback story begins. Stop preparing for your moment and start living it. Now is the time. Your time, your moment, your victory. What are you going to do about it?